Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to more Nanyang NA Qualifier Championships. I'm Coddle Guy, that's Gods for Beyond the Summit, and get ready for one hell of a rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Today starts the full move into Reborn. Right now we are going to be casting from Reborn. It's been very touch and go already. Please anticipate that there will be some hiccups along the way. I can already tell you there's going to be some things that are going to be throwing some people off. For example, the player names do not auto-change to their appropriate uniform name. So any alias that they came into the lobby with, that's what they're going to have. So you'll probably not know who's playing what, and we're going to try our best to keep it up. But Gods, nonetheless, our first match is a best-of-1 elimination match here for Root Gaming going against Void Boys. What do you think?
Root Gaming did not look very impressive on the opening day, best of 3. Void Boys had the kind of closest series of the two, even with the stand-ins. So I would almost say slight edge going Void Boys' way. I don't know. I feel more confident in them as a team, whereas Root Gaming have some really good individuals, but there just didn't seem to be anything clicking when they first played.
Yeah, everything seemed a bit off. The only obviously two teams that have really been standing out so far is Digital Chaos and Cloud9. They seem like they've been just a bit more sharper. They got their screenplay underway, and for a lot of these other teams, unfortunately, they've had some roster changes or stand-ins that they've had to work with, especially like the side of Void Boys. I know a lot of people know Void Boys for the infamous Pat Soul, but unfortunately he is still overseas, at least according to Snake King. Both Pat Soul and Omega Poner are not going to be returning to the U.S. till about the 20th of this month, so hopefully Void Boys are still active and in part of some of these tournaments, but they're still fighting for their life here and now. And as you said, for Root Gaming, not their best first showing. So we'll see if they can bring it back here. And let's go into the draft. So Root Gaming put priority in eliminating both the Lesh and the Tusk. On the side of Void Boys, they rid of that pesky Bounty Hunter and Naga. And they're going to be picking up the Gyrocopter with their first pick, Gods. The response from Root Gaming, Wyvern and Lena.
Okay. I think pretty good response. A lot of teams would take maybe the Earthshaker with the Lena instead, just because these two work well together, and Earthshaker is just such a solid mid-game support to have, and that also leaves Earthshaker for Void Boys to snag up if they want it. So I think I would have liked Root something better with the Earthshaker than the Wyvern, but Wyvern maybe allows you to just be a bit more active in the early game level 1. Winter's the Arctic Burn a bit more aggressive than maybe a potential Fissure. So we'll see what Void Boys get with their second pick. They'll get the Earthshaker, so no surprises there. Pretty standard opening picks outside of maybe the Wyvern. Wyvern is a top pick for a lot of teams, but I think everything, pretty much going according to the 6.84 scripts so far. Surely a new patch is going to be coming soon, a pre-major one would expect, but
yeah, everyone has
really
a different feeling on
yeah.
when the big patch will hit. Some people are saying also this is going to be the straight to 7 patch, like 6.85 or whatever. We're just going straight to 7.0 with, going along with the theme of jumping into Reborn and starting anew, if you will. But
I wouldn't mind if it stayed on 6.84 for it, but I feel like it needs like a 6.84B where they just do some minor balance changes.
I can see that.
Nerf a few heroes here or there, like the Leshrac, the Lena, the Bounty maybe, nerf Bloodstone a little bit. Like there's a few things where you could just do some like small tweaks, and rather than say it's the next patch, just say, well, it's version B.
It'll be interesting. Big notable event to come, I believe, is ESL 1 New York, and we'll have to see if they do decide to make any sort of brief tweaks to the patch as it is. Now, Void Boys, as they continue to truck forward, I'm just going to assume one of these gentlemen on Void Boys is Snake King.
I think the top player, based on the icon. That looks like that's the old Bottom Bottom logo, I think.
Now, he's been playing offlane for Void Boys, and of his last series, it was 2 games under Darkseer and 1 with the Tusk. His Tusk game was phenomenal, by the way, so it's no real surprise Root are going to be eliminating Tusk as it is. We already know him for typically a first ban hero, but particularly against Void Boys and Snake King, you better make sure you get rid of it. So I don't wager this is going to be offlane Earthshaker, as a lot of teams like to run. I still think they're going to probably hold back and see if they can get possibly that Darkseer here.
Yeah.
But as we go into the second wave of picks, Root Gaming already grabbed the Lena and the Wyvern. Waga, who has been their core player, ran Bloodseeker and even pulled out a Lifestealer in their first series. It definitely caught everyone off guard, myself, Merlini, and well, it did end up being a bit underwhelming, unfortunately. A cheeky little combo they had with him and the Phoenix, but it didn't work out enough. But they did find some success in their Storm Spirit. Monkeys Forever typically takes the Storm Spirit, and with this team, he does even take it to the mid. Sometimes he likes to fancy it in the safe lane, but more often than not, this could be a mid lane Storm Spirit.
I'm curious to see what Waga plays. I felt like he was put on heroes that didn't make him look good, but it was partly because, hey, you're playing a lifesteal and this hero is completely out of the meta game. The Bloodseeker is one of those heroes which is like much more suited to pub play than competitive play. The hero actually isn't really picked all that much in competitive apart from specific situations, and it really didn't seem to fit the draft they had last time. So I hope Root just pick him something where he can be a bit more involved in a more obvious way. Although a lot of the kind of normal standard carries, Anti-Mage PL both banned out. Gyro picked up by Void Boys, so as far as options go, they are a bit more limited as far as the mainstream carries go. And that's kind of where he ended up on a lifestealer last time.
Unless they do decide to put the Storm in the safe lane, and we could see the famous Waga TA, Dire side mid lane.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be a fun sight to see.
5 seconds
It's
remaining.
gonna be interesting. So
See some Waga techies. Does that ever get to come out?
I don't know.
Everyone's been talking about, like, AUI had his interview where he was talking about tech, and he's like, this hero is just so good. I didn't even get to use like half the tricks I had planned, and we're still not seeing techies despite that.
Yeah, and we had an occasional ban yesterday, I believe, but of course that came after a Tusk pickup, so you still got to fear that early onslaught, snowball, suicide. So the a la carte techies, though, I don't know if teams are feeling that frisky. EG certainly could pull it off and definitely deserve the respect ban in their run in TI, but in here, I don't know. I think teams would almost fear it's like if we go for it and it doesn't work out, it could be a real low blow. Yeah, it's like we might lose some credibility. So, but they have picked up since then the Spirit Breaker grab here. So lots of global control. You can kind of keep the mid laner in check if they want to build on top of this with a little bit of extra global presence. Always pulling out maybe like an Ancient Apparition, let's say. Very good against the heal power of the Winter Wyvern. And, you know, you can set it up on top of the charge coming up from a Spirit Breaker plus their +1. Whoever the mid laner could be, let's say. So just some ideas. Just some ideas. Also, the Clockwork had been grabbed from Root Gaming.
Yep.
So great control and beautifully a good counter for the Earthshaker.
Oh, they pick up Ember Spirit. So Void Boys looking at Ember for the mid lane, it seems. So does okay against Storm. Lena's a bit rougher because it's very easy for Lena to hit the LSA onto melee carries when they go in for last hits. So, but Lena's very squishy, and that's where Ember Spirit come mid game time can really look to get lots of kills on squishy heroes. And Lena stands out there. If it's a support Lena, you're going to struggle a lot to play against an Ember Spirit because he can use his Sleight of Fist, his Fire Remnants to dodge LSA so easily.
I do wager that means then Mr. Gitovas. I had struggled saying his name the first time we casted it. Actually, the last time we casted Void Boys the other day, it was me and Merlini, and Merlini had dubbed him the guy at that point. And, you know, given he is probably a late stand-in, his performance seemed a bit subpar. You know, hopefully he's shaking off maybe that first-round rust, and he's looking to bounce back stronger here. We didn't get to see him play the Ember Spirit, though. I believe in that run he played Shadow Fiend and Lena a couple of times. So curious to see what he's going to make do with the Ember. But as we go into the final banning phase, Root remove the Disruptor, which is a bit interesting. I almost could see Disruptor as a valued grab for them, but
Ban Lifestealer.
the Lifestealer, really? Well, does this mean Waga's stuck with a limited option of that Bloodseeker, the TA?
Yeah, I'm not. Bloodseeker doesn't match up great against Spirit Breaker, Gyrocopter, Ember to me. I mean, you kind of need BKB, but at the same time, then the stuff like cooldown slow as well. Spirit Breaker stun still go through the BKB. Ember just fire remnants away. There's just huge burst damage from a gyrocopter in general.
10 seconds remaining.
I can see where they're thinking though. Lifestealer, you know, you got a Clockwork and a Storm. Both are very good vehicles for the Lifestealer to get in. So you could think first it's like a laugh, like, oh, it's a Lifestealer. There's no way we're going to pick it. But technically they've ran it before, and this would be even a better lineup than what they had the previous time. Last time they picked up Lifestealer, there really was no vehicle whatsoever, and he was more on that PvE adventure, building again into his Midas and SMY thereafter. And we'll have to see. They're thinking long and hard about it. What about something like a Jug? Is melee, though, not going to really work out too well here when you're dealing with a Spirit Breaker in your face and an Earthshaker?
I mean, Jug's okay. You look at what Void Boys have. They've got 3 melee heroes and a Gyro who's pretty close range as well. So that's where it's not too hard to get in for Blade Fury, for Omni Slash, to dish out some damage for a Jug. But it's exactly what you kind of talked about. You put the Storm in the safe lane and you get a mid, and TA is going to be the choice there.
We all know Waga for his TA.
Yeah.
I'm expecting some of the best.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the best looking TA hats you can get.
Yeah, Void Boys have decent heroes for TA in some ways. Like, you've got great lockdown, Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage quickly gets rid of refraction and can burst down a TA pretty fast. If you want, once you bring the Gyro to fights, you've got great control with Spirit Breaker, Earthshaker, Searing Chains from the Ember
10
Spirit. But
seconds remaining.
as far as the laning stage goes, TA should have a pretty good time.
Yeah, I mean, you could
5
leave the
seconds
Lena
remaining.
as like the zoner, let's say, or not, and have either Winter Wyvern or Lena be the one to like build up those dire ancient stacks for Waga, be around the map, add a bit of harassment, get those wards down, and just look to be more objective with it, and then she could bring in a lot of that extra economy because of those stacks. But Undying, gonna be the final pick here from the side of the Void Boys. And, well, with that is going to come one hell of a lot of aggression here. Is this going to be possibly a dual offlane Spirit Breaker, Undying combo, and then just kind of have the Gyro do his own thing against the Clockwork, Ember mid, and Earthshaker just kind of float around a bit?
I mean, they don't have a clear zoning support for the Gyrocopter to help him out, which is where, I mean, Gyro just great on his own against the clock. I think we'll see potentially, yeah, the Spirit Breaker, Undying dual lane, and Earthshaker just roaming. I
10
think
seconds
Earthshaker can throw
remaining.
Fissures mid to help out. He may come bottom to try and go for a kill on the Clockwork.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
think that's a very strong way to lane things here. Storm against these two heroes, the Spirit Breaker, Undying, may struggle a little bit unless the two supports are just camping his lane and not helping out mid. And that's where the Earthshaker can maybe find kills if Wyvern and Lena are forced to entirely protect the Storm's lane.
Now we are going to lead things off with a pause. I guess I could take this moment to remind everyone who is possibly just tuning in. This is going to be our first experience with using the new Reborn client from a caster production
How is this guy
perspective.
orange? They've changed the colors. What is this?
And yeah, as you can see, there's
He's
already
pink.
going to be some crazy things.
He's
The
meant-
colors are off. Obviously, the player names have not been adjusted to their like team registered names. You know, normally in the old client, they jump into the lobby and it just kind of auto swaps for the players, so they don't even need to change their own name. But it looks like in Reborn, they don't change. So you're going to see some funny names here, and we're going to have the job of just trying to figure out by deduction who is actually what. And so what's happening? Waga's like, I'm red, so I'm red player. I'm
didn't-
Sentinel.
there was never-
the original Sentinel slot. Yeah.
Back in Dota 1,
Yeah, that
red
was-
and green were reserved for Sentinel and Scourge for the creeps. That was the creep color.
So are we? He's going to be red player from now on. Yeah.
From a spectator point of view, the colors still look the same above their head.
I also heard from a spectator's point of view, the names actually do correct. I'm not too sure, but as you guys can see from the stream, in our perspective, they don't correct. And
Okay.
I also heard rumors that people trying to watch through the through the client have been crashing. I'm pretty sure Valve is already aware of it. We weren't
Well-
the full guinea pigs. The defense had their matches earlier, so they were
Yep.
the real guinea pigs, and they already went over everything.
Sorry.
But for
Give it
everyone
another
else coming
couple of
by-
years, Dota 2 will get out of beta. We're
Yes,
almost
we have
there.
moved from officially the alpha to the beta. It looks like we're going to get back and underway here. All right, fantastic. So we'll get an idea as far as who is going to be going what where. We're going to get the early TP coming out from Mr. 3333 en route, as he's going to be heading to the bottom to place down that first ward. He even has a sentry on hand as well. So he's going to, I assume, block the camp from two different sides. You're going to see right here and probably up over here.
Yep.
And once he can do that, that means that this camp will get blocked regardless. There it is.
So
Beautifully
is
done.
that Juan playing the offlane for Root?
Yes, that
Okay.
would be... No, Juan is Void Boy's side, isn't it? No,
Juan is Root now.
you're right. Juan is Root
Is
now.
he offlane? I'm just not entirely sure of the
He
roles here.
is off lane, yes, because Derp, and Ja are the supports.
Okay. Yeah, Ja is the Lena. I can recognize his little icon there, the,
Yes,
the
that
lion.
means Ja is the Lena, a.k.a. TTT,
And-
and Derp will be the Wyvern, also known as 1v1 Rocket League.
Okay.
30 seconds to go.
All right, so Juan's going to be down here doing his thing. He's got great wards down. Let's take a look at the Void Boy side. Fly, what a guy. He just picks his name, uses it. He's going to be flying her gyrocopter along the bottom. Shanks is the registered substitute for Void Boys, at least according to the Valve and Majors registration page. Spirit Breaker is the offlane player, and I want to say is whatever, I believe.
Okay.
Gatovas is Gatovas, or you can call him
The
the guy if you
battle
want. And then
begins.
Mr. Natsu is Snaking, the king, His Majesty.
The one and only.
So That's all you're going to get, folks. From here on out, I'll probably call him the hero name or whatever name it is right there, but it's going to be all scrambled eggs from the start. So.
Despite it at the top, the best of 3 indicator, this is just the best of 1. We're in the lower bracket now, so best of 1s for round 1 and round 2. The second match today will be the winner bracket match, which will be a best of 3.
All right, so what do we think? They it looked like they might go full aggro, but that was just for the block, it looks like. So this dynamic duo here between your Undying and your Spirit Breaker, we'll have to see how aggressive they want to go at the start. It's going to be a late ward placement here from your Spirit Breaker, so obviously it's going to be spotted out from Derp, who already has a sentry on hand, so expect him to get the easy deny of that ward and a free 50 gold.
Yeah. So for now, holding on to it, I guess. Okay, there we go. He
Yeah.
pops it out, finds it, and we'll quickly realize what's going on. Gyrocopter not having too many issues in the safe lane, and Earthshaker's actually down there. Pops his sentry, D-wards once, but this is not going to spawn. He's going to realize it's been double blocked, and that's a problem for him. Luckily, the second block is a sentry, so it's actually going to expire at least before the 7-minute mark, which would be the Observer ward. So this will be a like 3 minutes of blocked pull camp.
Yep. I mean, you only usually get that one sentry to go to the bottom lane, and you take that sentry, the second one, elsewhere. For now, it's in the mid lane. It's actually still in the pocket here from Ember Spirit. I don't know if it's justifiable to have the sentry handed off to the bottom lane just to get that pull back or not. Otherwise, as you said, they're going to be 3 minutes without that pull advantage. But hey, Shanks is heading over. Why not just hand it off like a little baton, you know?
Yeah. Jehovah's doesn't really need against Waga. I mean, Waga's build is 2 points in side blades already. Against a hero like Ember, you see it. I mean, you see it in a lot of matchups now where TA doesn't actually get points in meld, especially when you see a sentry. Like, well, what's meld actually going to do for me? You want to get at least 2 points in side blades and go from there.
Yeah, didn't even think of that. Yeah, the TA mid lane matchup, he does not want to hand over that sentry, especially as the levels go on, the traps start coming out. You want to have that advantage. He's going to get the early chains harassment here. Flame Guard burn, just trying to force him back, maybe force him to use that salve, but he actually looks like he can hold it and chew through the Tango instead. Name of the game as far as CS goes, it's the two of them, 12 and 11, but then thereafter we have your Storm Spirit, Monkeys Forever, continues to farm up. He is a stellar core player, man. He always seems to, you know, find his way to find his significant amount of farm and bring it back, and it doesn't seem like they're having too much trouble with this dual lane right now. And in fact, look who's coming in from behind. Lina trying to set something up. Nice LSA. They might be able to get the follow-up, and they will. Dragon Slave will help finish off Snake King. It cost them their Lina, but they might be able to walk away with 2 kills here. If they can get off a few more right clicks, they got it done. Monkeys is going to be able to pick up the second one. It turns into a 2-for-1 trade, an advantage for Root Gaming.
Yeah, Derp with a nice Splinter Blast there off the range creep to make sure they got the Spirit Breaker kill. So good execution, Leon, just willing to kind of die to help out the carry Storm. You get a first blood for Storm and die in the process. It's not a bad trade as a support, so the safe lane for Root looking really good after that exchange, although keeping back to this line, Undying now, full HP mana, has 9 1 charges. Now this is where Snake can actually bully Monkeys in this lane. Monkeys is kind of low in HP, has no mana to work with, and this is where at least kind of coming back to the lane after giving up that exchange, Void Boys aren't looking too bad.
We look back at the mid lane here. They continue to trade up a bit. PMS already complete here for Tovas. Waga continues his own stellar bit of farm. How are they doing with the stacks nearby? A double stack for the side of Void Boys here. I was about to check out the action that could be possibly breaking out here in the top lane, but it looks like instead we'll be welcomed with the pause. But as far as side gold comes in, yeah, 1 stack over here. How about for the side of Root? Nothing yet in your Ancient camp, and it looks like their jungle still seems a bit dry as it is right now. They've been more focused on making sure they could secure the farm for Monkeys, I'd imagine, and not allowing this dual lane to be too much of a problem.
Yeah, they've got the couple of kills now. I'd like to see the supports maybe kind of try and time their rotation such that they can get a stack and then pressure the lane, go for those kills. Especially when you put a hero like TA on your side. Stacking up your jungle. You can't really stack the Ancients while helping out the safe lane. Maybe that's something where Clockwork stacks the Ancients or Waga just does it himself. But it's definitely worth missing a CS or two in mid, like 1 or 2 CS in the mid lane to get an Ancient stack, because you're going to make up for that gold much later on.
Alright, for bottom here, Shanks holds an obs. Probably looking to replace the bit of Rune Vision that they have lost recently here. Fly's got phase boots in the works as it stands, and it looks like he's also going to be ready to go. And as you can hear by the sound, there is a rocket en route. That graphic is certainly messed up. The bullet does not line up with the firing shot, and it looks like he's just going to have to connect and go right back to lane here. But top, looks like nothing is going to end up coming of it. They just kind of disperse a bit and continue their casual laning trade. But as I say that, they're toying with the idea of jumping in, guys. I mean, level 4 Undying is pretty big, and Spirit Breaker at level 3, it looked like he tried to go for the charge, but couldn't get the vision. Now puts it on the Monkey's Forever instead. Reminder, not much mana to work with here, but they will turn back. Big overcharge damage is going to be coming out. The rip coming out from Snake King to keep him back alive. He's very, very low. Boom! They get that long, ridiculous range coming up from the Lina, and it looks like they might get Snake King as well. They're going to push forward for it. And he's got a salve, though. They know it. They step back. They don't want to get too enticed and drawn into a big decay, which he is looking for here. Can he catch it? He's running. He wants it. Can he? Oh, picks up once. Decides to go for the Wyvern instead. Pops him one time, and he's like, get over here, you son of a gun. I'm going to get you. Where are you trying to hide? Bam. Is he going to be able to finish him off?
He's
trying
gonna
to
heal.
tango.
2 seconds.
Run, run, run. Nah, he's going to get him there. Few extra right clicks, a lot of sweat, but he finally does go down. And look at this. They already have a charge out in the Monkeys Forever, which gives the vision. Snake King's like, I'm coming for you too. He's got 2 decay charges now. The right clicks are coming in, and Spirit Breaker's like, I'm coming, buddy. Here I come. He's going to be able to charge on forward, and there's the bop, and it's a double kill for Snake King.
They're stuck, though, Dakota.
Oh,
They're
get them
stuck.
killed. Get the hell out of there. The Dudley boys. They got the job done. They got to make it away with their lives. Can they do it? A tombstone now going to be dropped. He still holds a mango. Doesn't want to use it. Spirit Breaker's going to get annihilated with the return of Lina, but Snake King will live on. What a crop shoot happening here at the top lane. It evens things up, though, 4-4. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Second God's bottom lane. Clockwork's in trouble, and he gets taken care of. It looked like a beautiful fissure block coming out from Shanks, and Fly was able to just kind of rock him down with the Rocket Barrage.
Okay, so things will settle. That's, I mean, Undying Spirit Breaker in a nutshell right there. They just run at you and just keep on running at you. That's level 5 now on Undying. This is getting a lot of experience up here, and one of the areas where Storm, in the safe lane, you don't really want to go full trial, and you kind of want that one support to zone out, but he's needed the extra support, and as a result, Monkeys is going to have a pretty slow level 6 here.
Yeah.
Did get his bottle. His bottle arrived right before they went in, which is what kind of kept him alive. He just kept kind of sipping up and getting some HP and mana, which led to the initial swing going Root's way until the Spirit Breaker respawned and could get some kills.
A little bit of a tussle there at the top rune, but Ember will be able to pick up the invis before heading right back towards the mid lane. We touch base with them. Waga leading in the CS right now, 30-10, but not by much. Ember just nipping at the heels, 29-3. And as you said, because the supports have been kind of busy elsewhere, there's no stacks built up, but they have smoked up now. Question is, who is their best target to go for here? They're going to risk dancing.
They want Snake King
with the top lane. They know Spirit Breaker is all the way at the bottom, so this is their best chance. They're going to go in leading with the Arctic Burn. It will slow him down. Here comes the Lina. He's going to be forced to pop the Tombstone and try to man up with the gains, but that will not be enough. Easily take advantage with their 3v1, and it looks like they'll be able to clean up a Tombstone as well. Monkey should get the last hit. Nope, it's going to be taken from the Lina.
Just making sure they kill that as quickly as possible. That took them a long time to bring down, considering they had 3 ranged heroes attacking it. You do get vision of the Spirit Breaker coming back towards this top lane with a nice lane ward here.
And Snay will return to this lane again. So now he has his partner in crime. Certainly not as easy when you're in the Undying by yourself at this point going against that tri-lane. How's bottom? The return of Clockwork here. Xuan makes his return. He has his Tranquils. Still holds his salve on hand. On the other side, you see Fly, 33-12 CS. He's the 3rd top right now. He finished off those phase boots, and it looks like he's going to go for the drum build. God's Gyrocopter drum build. For a lot of people, seems to be a bit hit or miss, going so tanky, so defensive. But what do you think about it here in this match?
I think he'll be looking to rotate around a lot and get involved, especially if they start 5-manning, he's going to be the one more kind of geared towards dealing with refraction and fighting the TA especially. So he can instantly burn down refraction, do a lot of damage to a TA in a short period of time, and it kind of prevents the TA from fighting. Even if TA manages to farm incredibly fast, which you can do with Ancient Stacks, which Waga has now started working on, you get a Desolator, but you can't really fight into a Gyrocopter even with Deso because of how fast he will bring you down. It's kind of like you're both dishing out huge burst damage, but Gyro's just a little bit more mobile with the drums.
As we saw, those stacks building up here for Waga. He's going to start chunking his way through them. And when we talk about Fly and being a bit more active, this is the time. We said it before. Now it's level 8.5. This is when you want to make use of that first call down, and there it is. They're going to jump right in with the help of the Invis Rune from Gatovas. It's going to be another sweep there. Clockwork will go down, and it really doesn't take long to see the call down. It's just right then and there. Now 7-5, still advantage for Void Boys at this point, we check back with the top lane. Snake King is now level 6, so he's got the ult ready to go here, but so is Monkeys Forever, so it's going to be that much tougher if you want to be able to lock down this storm. And what kind of lockdown do they really have? Just the fissure, really, from Earthshaker, the chains, and, oh, we're going to see a breakout here. Derp is able to fly up and above into uncharted territory, but they're going to continue to pursue, maybe going for Waga. Monkeys has showed up, makes a long jump, so he's got very little mana, but here comes Clockwork. Juan looking for some revenge, gets a big jump on the fly. Can they ping him down in time? They certainly can with the help of the heal coming out from Snake King. It makes it a lot easier. Look at that fissure, though. Nicely connected onto Juan. Juan's going to get bumped. He's going to get right-clicked. He will go down, but Spirit Breaker also going to get annihilated from the back. Waga's going to go down thereafter, and it turns into a bloodshed here. 2v2. 9-7 now, and look at this. They see the remaining piddles of the stack, and Shanks is like, this is mine now.
That was a full 5v5 commitment at that ancient stack. Wasn't even that, it was just a triple stack too, and Waga, just by the sheer threat of being a TA, forced everyone to rotate in. Mid
lane, they want the king. He's able to wand charge up and make it out. Nicely done, man. He is durable as hell and very deceptive to Root, and they're going to get an easy return kill. There's another call down. They just go up to the high ground and catch out the Lina, who unfortunately had expended so much to try to take the Undying out.
Well, Undying did go down.
Where did he go?
The classic rocket flare snipe. That was a level 1 rocket flare too.
That was from downtown. It looked like he came from the bottom of the base. Nicely done there from Juan. Fortunately missed it, but he didn't. Back at mid lane, here's 4 pushing in. They want to try to get a tier 1 here, maybe open some space near that dire side ancient camp in Roche Pit specifically, but it's not going to prove to be too easy. It looks like they might have to just kind of wait it out. They have that smoke still? No, it looks like they might have used it.
Waga with a haste ring could be a potential threat here if Root want to try and take a fight, but I think this is where Void Boys are really strong. You've got Max Tombstone on Undying, you've got Drums on Gyro, Ember's hit level 9. This is where he really starts to dish out some serious damage as well. This is just not a time where Root have any interest in taking a team fight. They've got heroes like TA who haven't even come online with their first item.
Yeah.
Lena's not level 6. Storm hasn't really got anything outside of the song. Storm's like a good kind of ganking and solo kickoff here, but he doesn't want to fight into a 5-man lineup, and that's exactly what Void Boys are kind of doing right now.
Oh, this is a lineup for Void Boys that is not afraid to just put on the gloves and get the fighting right away, while Root Gaming is like, well, we got to train first. We got to do jump rope. We got to go out for a run before we're conditioned and ready to fight. Void Boys are not like that, so they're able to clear out this tier 1 tower. Root Gaming kind of have to be a bit more hesitant, touch and go, and just kind of wait for their prime opportunity, whether it's a sneaky quick pick when someone gets a little too far from home, or is it just diligent farming and being able to pull it out now. Scrutinized a bit their stacking capability earlier, but it looks like they are throwing it together now. They have 1 stack built up, but more importantly, gods, they smoke up and they are on the move, possibly heading south, or is it already time for a Roche? Waga does not have a Deso, so they are going to go for a kill.
And only 2 points in meld, so it's like 4 armor reduction compared to the 8 at max level. Yeah, this is more focused on finding a kill. Not an easy kill on Ember Spirit if he's got a Fire Remnant to escape. So we'll see what the plan instead is going to be coming out from this smoke gank from Root.
For now, at least, it's a smoke movement to get down a pretty aggressive ward, which isn't too bad in itself, but yeah, they would love to follow it up with a pick here. But it's going to be on what looks like possibly a Snake King at the bottom. He's going to get pretty far from that tier 1. But as we saw before, he's a pretty tough cookie to crack. So we'll see if they're going to have enough ammunition. He's pretty far forward now, so it should be a lot easier. And
he's pretty deep.
He's dead. They're going to jump in with a hook shot. They're going to entrap him. Snake King drops the tombstone, but that's going to end up being extra gold right now for Root. They'll clean him up and the tombstone.
Yep. Free 150 gold too. Not a small chunk of change by any means. And the counter smoke from Void Boys up top is not fighting too much right now. Monkeys pops an invis, heals up a little bit, and
shows himself, goes in, and they're going to see him. The smoke's going to be popped. They know something's fishy here. Shanks, hi, how's it going? Walk-in Echo. Might not have been necessary, but I guess it's better to play safe than sorry.
The Echo, it's necessary because it's the insta-stun. All of your other spells have a wind-up. If Storm reacts quickly, he can ball away during a fissure, during an enchant totem, so the Echo's the insta-stun which prevents that.
Fair enough, fair enough. Guess I would credit the Spirit Breaker. Hopefully gets that charge out. But
yeah.
It would have been. I agree. It would have been. It's better to be safe than sorry. Get the secured kill, dunk him on his head, and get it done.
And as an early gamer Earthshaker, you're never going to get a chance to really use Echo. So it's never real. It's like the Enigma. Like you're hit level 6 right away, you just go use it for a solo kill.
Yeah.
You're not looking for a 5-man black hole with your first
Dire's
black hole
top
at
tower
8 or
is
9
under
minutes into the
attack.
game.
Top lane, Void Boys just scratching at this tier 1. Ember gonna drop back a safety remnant just in case, but you see the pings are here. Is Monkey's gonna make that final jump? They got the glyph, so before he's able to make a jump in any sort of pull, he just gets the hell out of there, and that means that that tower should get denied. It will. Monkeys is gonna remove that extra bit of gold. Nicely done from them.
Void Boys still lingering around up at top lane though with a lot of their core heroes, and maybe considering re-engaging here. Yeah, with the charge from Shanks, they sure as hell are.
Here it comes. They move right past Waga while he's farming. They're looking for Monkeys. They lead him with a fissure. Can they get the follow-up Nether Strike? No, because the curse is there. Plus, Derp helping out with a good cold embrace. Monkeys is going to jump right past him. Spirit Breaker's going to be going down, and now Monkeys is on the run. Gatova's trying to chase Remnants on forward, but now is a bit low on mana, but Shanks is going to be right there with the Arcane Boots. Actually, that was going to be snaking, but here's Waga. Caught under the call down here. Can he make it away? No, he's going to get slaughtered apart. And they are going to get at least the one catch. It's a TA for a Spirit Breaker, a worthy trade for Void Boys. But it was a 5-man commitment for just the one TA.
So, it still seems Void Boys slightly better position. They're controlling this game a bit more.
I will never again hit the fight recap button.
I hear you, Chuck. I look over, I'm like, what happened to Dota?
All right, like
I'm
I
pretty
said,
sure you're streaming right now.
conveniently an update as well. Wonderful.
Oh, I hope you can reconnect.
So, folks, as I said at the very start, this is the first day of everyone using the Reborn client,
I think
even
we
us
can
at BTS. And I mean, we never had the opportunity to spectate cast any games in Reborn, so I had no idea what the observing experience was going to be. And as you can see, there are still definitely
if you have
bugs
issues,
and
I think
hiccups.
you can get my feed as well, so you might be able to show
really?
my camera if you need. I don't know if you have a. You might need to set up a scene for it.
Oh, goodness, here.
But-
Let's see if I can do that. Let me see. I might be able to, but before that,
Just
let
try
me
reconnect, yeah.
quick reconnect here if possible.
Yeah.
We're reconnecting. Don't worry, folks. Here, let
we
me
can-
see. There we go. But watching from yours, we could do an audio only. It looks like Monkeys Forever did go down. Oh, there's a huge fight mid lane that everyone's missing. Oh, Jesus. Big fight breaking out. Looks like it's Void Boys getting the big of it right now. And here you go. Oh, man. Shanks double kill from him. And Void Boys, weak and wounded, but alive. All 5 hold strong. And it's a complete 5-man wipe that everyone has missed. But I assure you, it was the most awesome fight ever.
Fighting underneath Tombstone and Flesh Golem. Whew. And snaking off some really nice soul rips to save teammates there. You can see on the Radiant side, Void Boys, everybody is incredibly low. But they've got this great sustain. They've got the drums to keep them mobile. They've got the soul rip healing them up. And Root just aren't in fighting shape right now.
I'm going to pass the message along to maybe anyone watching there from home. I see a certain Pimp Munkle nearby. Do not hit the fight recap button. Do not hit it unless
You're
it's text.
tempting me. Like, I know it's not streaming mine, so I almost just want to, like, test it next time there's a fight recap.
Never. The play button has moved from play to fight recap. So, oh well. 17 to 10 after that huge fight. No surprise to see this much of a surge in the net worth right now for the Void Boys at about 5K. A little over 3K for the XP as well. So they're sitting pretty right now. It looks like pings are out on Roche from the side of Root, and now even on the side of Void Boys. It's very apparent that both teams are going to put some priority into this. Root really need to try to get this for themselves, or at least stop it, put up a good fight. I imagine if Void Boys are able to sneak in there, get off a good Roche, take the Aegis, it's going to be a very steep hill to climb for Root Gaming.
And Void Boys are going to have Mech on their side. Snaking has the money to pick it up now after farming some neutral stacks, and that's a scary thought. You've got BKB coming on Gyro, Mech on Undying. These are the kind of items you just can't fight into. On Root's side, so much damage is magic right now.
Look at Blackface is not allowed in Dota. All right, Snake King. What the hell
It's a
is
new
wrong?
cosmetic coming out.
That thing is much more scary looking than the Undying.
Yeah.
I love Reborn.
That wouldn't be allowed on Perfect World servers.
Here we go, 18 minutes, and it looks like Void Boys, before they want to do anything involved with the Roche Pit, it's probably wise to get rid of this Tier 1 access point. Look at this. Over nearby, a very deep ward coming out from Derp. They actually pinged to the high ground thinking he's going there, but he doesn't. He goes for a more cheeky ward over closer to the mid lane. So, charge flying out on Monkeys Forever coming in from Spirit Breaker. Will the follow-up be there? No. Not going to decide to pin on anything. And that Tier 1 never went down the bottom lane. It's getting pretty low, but they will not drop it.
Yeah, Monkeys will TP in and push things out here, and should be in pretty decent position. It looks like for the most part, Void Boys are kind of hovering around their side of the map and also getting scattered by these wards. I mean, Root have great wards around this mid lane, as well as the Radiant jungle. So they're scanning out a lot of the Void Boys' movements. Problem is, even knowing where they are moving on the map, they still don't have the ability to take fights because Void Boys are sticking together for the most part.
Someone says the update that I just downloaded fixed the recap bug, but I'm not going to test it. Sorry. I'm not going to hit that button again, even if
that
it's
sounds like
supposedly
you're being
fixed
trolled.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
I would not
Sorry.
believe that for a second.
I'm just going to do my caster thing and try to not touch anything. Bottom lane, here we go. Rotation from Snake King here. No commitment on the Monkeys Forever, given he's very, very dodgy. But at that same moment, they're going to get the quick pick top lane. Lina will go down with the help of the Spirit Breaker. But attention back towards the bottom here. They're trying to intercept, possibly make a move. There's the figure to connect on Monkeys Forever, but he's easily able to jump to the low ground to make it away. And he is out from trouble. He's got his soul booster, and he's going to get that Bloodstone pretty soon. But it feels like it's just Void Boys kind of putting on the aggression. You certainly don't blame them with the power advantage they got, but is there going to have to be a point where Root Gaming needs to just kind of go out on a limb and make something, happen?
They're going to be looking for solo pickoffs a lot with the Storm. TA is going to be looking to sneak a Roshan. Those are kind of the key objectives for them. For now, the key thing is getting Monkeys Forever out of danger.
He had to triple jump to dodge out that fissure. Now has no mana as Spirit Breaker comes in, but there's not enough follow-up behind that Spirit Breaker, so not much going to be coming out of it. Although meanwhile, that bottom tier 1 does go down. It was not denied. So that's 3 extra gold there for the Void Boys as they push their net worth up to about 5k now. Still hold strong in a great position here. I feel like they're just trying to keep these lanes pushed forward, and then they could always follow back and try to get a hold of an Aegis.
Yeah, and with the lanes pushed out, it just gives them the opening to finish off this tier 2 mid tower. In the past, they've constantly have to be defending their bottom lane. They didn't want to just give a free tier 1 to Storm or to the TA, but they do get this tier 2 mid in the end, and it's Katovas, who's almost got a completed Battle Fury very early on, who gets the last hit.
And we'll see if indeed they will double back and make their move into the pit. They're thinking about it. They have the ward on the high ground so they can see anyone approaching, given it's not under a smoke.
They haven't got the best Roche lineup. They definitely could just by taking a long time and spamming Rocket Barrage and whatever other spells they can, but they would get low and put themselves in a vulnerable position against the Storm Spirit, so probably wisest not to go for it.
Talked about the Root Gaming wards and their aggression. Well, Void Boys do have some of their own here in the mid lane. Very nice spot. Could catch out anyone trying to smoke and head towards that Roche pit. Standard one right in the mid, and then of course you got your Imba ward up on the high ground. But Void Boys not looking to go to the pit yet. They're heading towards this bottom lane. Look at that. Derp's like, I'm going to get this ward. There'll be no problems whatsoever. Boom! Fissure. Here comes Spirit Breaker. What the hell you think you're doing? Don't touch that ward.
Well, you got the ward at least, but bottom tier 2 tower open for business. Here come Void Boys, and they're hungry. They're hungry for some more towers. They want to end this game fast by the looks of things, and all Root can do is just push elsewhere on the map. Raga instantly goes towards the mid-tier 1. The right kind of approach to dealing with the current situation, but already fly in position to maybe counter this.
So a trade as it is for now. Monkeys Forever. The early charge is out. The follow-up could be there from Fly, but Monkeys is already heading away. Spirit Breaker will end up pulling off. And that will be the end of that. Void Boys showing a bit of reserve, a bit of patience here, not getting too excited about the advantage they've had in this game so far. And it's a nice trait you don't see from a lot of these teams, being a bit more disciplined.
Well, they could have 100% gotten the tier 2 bottom tower, but they didn't want to trade it for their tier 1 mid. They decide their tier 1 mid's actually a pretty important kind of objective for their opponents. It's very much a focal point on the map. It's smack dab in the middle, so for Void Boys heroes, after they heal up, TPing in after dying, like that's the furthest point out of the map you can TP to. It's the closest point to getting into the dire jungle and applying pressure. It's near Roshan, so they basically say, look, it's not worth getting some tier 2 bottom tower for a tier 1 mid of ours, and let's just maintain the pressure and keep on defending these towers.
Void Boys again coming back towards the bottom here. Continuously pinged out. Those traps are down from Waga, so he sees the minor bits of movement here. But they're going to start sweeping through. They're going to plant their own sentry and remove the sentry. Oh yeah, the ward battle is real.
Top tower is under
Will go
attack.
down, but as they trying to formulate a game plan for this bottom lane, that split pressure keeps coming, gods. It's Monkeys Forever poking again at the top lane here.
Well, there's a blink this time on Earthshaker. That's a scary thought maybe for this Storm Spirit that he doesn't know about. TP in with the blink Echo Slam. Could be the death of him.
Let's see. Bottom lane also action to break out here. Then they're going to go under Zwan here. Eats a bit of damage. He's going to be forced to pop the blade mail, and that will be the end of it. At the
Here we
swing to
go,
blast,
Blink
and there's
Echo.
that TP. Yep. Can they get the blink? Oh no! Oh no! Oh yep. We all saw that one, Shanks. Unfortunately, the Echo Slam's not going to be happening with the blink in tandem, and the tower will go down. Monkeys Forever is going to be like, what the hell just happened there? Eats a fissure and walks away. If there was a Shaqtin' the Fool for Dota, it would definitely be on that.
No, that's one of the oldest plays in the book. It goes back to TI1. We saw that play, and since then it's happened many, many, many a times.
It happens to the best of us, as
Yep.
they say.
So
Well, not going to be happening. The game plan was there, but they're going to come up short. They do pretty much only lose the Echo. You know, they'll have to wait a bit, 100 seconds or
they
so.
lost a storm
but,
kill.
but yeah, the
Storm
storm
kill
kill
could've
is
been
going to be
big.
gone. I mean, it's not like they jumped in and because of the miss Echo, it's like, okay, now we fight
Yeah.
them, and then they lose. You know, but yeah, I mean, they missed out on an opportunity to really push themselves almost into what could be a Roche and then a high ground push, and then maybe the near end of the game.
I don't know if he had the Bloodstone already picked up. I think he might have based on how much gold he had, so it would have also started chipping away at the Storm's Bloodstone charges if they kill him, which would be pretty damn nice. But yeah, from here, I mean, Void Boys, they respond well. They say, okay, don't worry, it doesn't actually hurt our overall game plan. Let's go back to grouping up, fighting around the Undying, taking objectives, and they do get the tier 2 bottom tower. It's getting very difficult for Root to find any opening to go for like a Roche play from Warga's TA, and that's definitely a kind of key part of their overall game plan when you pick TA on the Dire side.
This is feeling like a lineup that's been neutered right now, and they're just not really able to be as aggressive as you'd like. Typically, you know, your TAs are just slaughtering supports left and right and able to snowball out of control, but the TA here, 3, 4, and 1, has not really been able to be proactive. I mean, you even have the benefit of a Clockwork to kind of get things set up, but because of the advantage that Void Boys already got, and they're very good at just keeping the pressure, even with the vision, they now get this high ground warded and de-warded. Ward mid lane is still there. They're going to be able to keep tabs exactly on when and who from the Root side just kind of try to creep out from the base and find some bits of side farm, and that could be an opportunity for Void Boys to just get a quick catch and a quick pick.
Yeah, and that's where the Spirit Breaker can be a big threat, because even someone like a Storm, when he's got mana, it just gives vision. It tracks where he's moving. When he thinks he's in fog, he's being charged, and you've got vision. Can set up the Blink Echo Slam, can set up all kinds of plays where you're finding these kills, so Void Boys going to move. They got scouted, though. It looks like a ping came out when he used the Fire Remnant, so I think the fact that they were smoked in that position is known.
Yeah, they were in a good spot in the dark for the smoke, and Monkeys, he's confident he'll be able to get away from trouble. And there's the trouble, a fissure. Another strike should be able to connect. They're trying the best to keep him locked down, and they'll get it done. Suicide won't be able to go off or anything. Uh-oh, maybe a bit of overconfidence in the farm from Monkeys to just kind of go out and think that you can make it away without trouble.
Yeah, I think they scouted it, because there was a ping from a pink player, it looked like, right where he used the Fire Remnant.
Oh, Derp runs right into trouble.
he's
It could have been a
BKB.
ping for where a ward is, and he's trying to get there to de-ward it, but that's not the case. He goes in, sees a gyro, and is like, I gotta go. Turns around, but look at this. Maybe not so lucky. Spirit Breaker could be caught. Yules follow up. Even a Laguna committed. They're going to get him down. Can they get Fly as well? This could be the chance for Root Gaming to get themselves right back to square even. Even a follow-up Curse even. Going on to Snake King. The black-faced one. Can they bring him down? Drops the Tombstone. They gets the Soul Rip off. They bring down the Tombstone. Now they turn their attention onto him. He's trying to run. And can they get him? He pops the one, and there's the strike. Waga is going to be able to take him down, and whew, we'll need a timeout after that.
Yeah, that was a big turnaround there. The Gyrocopter committing a BKB just for the Wyvern, and then the charge going on a different target. They really just needed to coordinate better between the Gyro Spirit Breaker there, focus the same target, and move and kill the Wyvern right away. They didn't even need the BKB. Just needed a charge, Rocket Barrage. Committing a cooldown would have been kind of acceptable. You can still fight with the cooldown on cooldown, but put Void Boys in a really tough spot. They didn't have cooldown or Gyro's BKB, and they were still chasing deep into the enemy jungle, and kind of just played into Root's hands there.
So, if you're Root, are you beelining it to the Roche pit right now?
Yeah, I think so. There's, I mean, a tier 1 tower bot, but ultimately, at this stage of the game, Roche is a better objective than any tower on the map. So
there's not much they could do about it. Undying is out without question for over 40 seconds. Gyro does have a buyback, but you don't want to have to use a buyback now to contest that Roche.
And I don't even know if you can get there and stop Roshan is the other thing. So it's probably not even worth it. I think they will be able to just get Roche with ease. The bottom tier one's actually deniable as well, so we maybe see them try and sneak that with someone. But Storm's low mana. I think it's just going to be 5-man Roche, kill it quick, and go on from there.
Oh, here they come. They're migrating. They're like, we just got a good fight, and we're going to fight this big badass over here. And obtain the Aegis, I'm sure, for monkeys. Down to 6 charges, but not too shabby. A 2, 4, 5 Storm, but as we already said, for up to this point for Root, they've been forced into a position where they're stuck being a bit quiet and a bit more passive. But now with that great fight, they managed to turn it around. I didn't really get the gist of the whole fight together to find out exactly what went wrong where, but it looked like maybe Void Boys just got split up too far.
Yeah.
Spearbreaker made a committed jump onto towards the Lina and Waga, and that was not happening. They
It
easily
started
just
with the
turned
gyro going on the Wyvern by like the secret shop, and Wyvern just flew from low ground to high ground, juked the gyro, and gyro committed BKB cooldown for a solo Wyvern. I think he expected there to be more heroes. Maybe I imagine the BKB was maybe a misclick as well. But yeah, that was where the problems began, and then Spiritbreaker ran a different direction. Didn't go on Wyvern, so... yeah, it just wasn't a very coordinated assault coming out from the Void Boy side. They're still looking okay for now. They've got a lot of farm, even on kind of utility heroes like Undying, who's now picked up a Glimmer Cape as well. Fly's got BKB, has an ultimate orb on top, so there is farm on the Void Boys side where they can continue to take fights in 5-man, even into an Aegis, I'd say.
Well, they're certainly showing the body language like it. At least they're hunkering down mid for now. No smoke on hand, but for everyone else, they're going to try to get the split that they can in the meantime. Boots of travel. 2 boots, 2 feats here for Gatovas as he just continues to farm up. We already know the high ceiling and how much a Ember Spirit can certainly scale. Offers great high ground defense with the Sleight of Fist coming out with a huge cleave and ridiculous damage. Let's anticipate, gods, possibly that this game could go pretty late. You get into that 50-minute territory. Is there really a team that might have a better advantage on paper as we, get to that point? Is TA going to be able to hold her own against that ridiculously high ceiling of an Ember Spirit?
Yeah, I think for Root they have problem heroes, not in the form of the TA, but more so the Storm. You've got limited lockdown to deal with the Storm in Ultra late game. You've got the Earthshaker with his stuns and the Spirit Breaker, but Storm can just kind of, once he gets a big enough mana pool, he tanks up a lot. He's gone Bloodstone and picks up a Mystic Staff. This may just be a Bloodstone Shivers build where he gets really tanky with these 2 items. Still coming top.
Oh yeah, they got a quick catch, it looked like, onto the Ember here. Just
That's
getting a
DD
little
rune,
reckless
yeah.
with that deep farm. And
Winter's Curse and DDTA, that was just a very quick pop.
Didn't even suspect it here. Plus, my minimap icons are small again, Reborn. Thank you. Nice polish. But here we go. Back to bottom, Void Boys. See their attention towards the top, so maybe consider adding a bit of split pressure here. Or they're waiting for this guy right here. Monkeys Forever. Caught here once before. This time, he's thinking twice. He's like, some people are missing. I don't know if I want to keep going south. Instead, there's a handy-dandy Bounty Rune right over here. I'll just take that instead. But a gem. Now going to be picked up from the side of Void Boys, gods. Looks like they're going to look to take some map control back.
Yeah, a lot of the, I think, problems Void Boys have seen has come from the great vision from that Root's been continually putting down. We saw earlier around the mid lane. Right now they've got wards protecting the Roshan pit in the top lane. The kind of wards that can very easily find pickoffs for heroes like Storm, like TA with the Blink Dagger. And this TA is getting solo kills very easily now that she's gone into the crit build as well.
Yeah, she will be hitting like a truck. Doesn't need to pop off for the defensive build-up yet.
No. The other reason I think Root do well late game is they've got Lina, who, even though a support is getting a lot of farm priority, has Yules and half of an Aghanim Scepter already, so...
Yeah, that's really, really good. Looking over for Derp. I mean, not even him is, like, really starving. 2k gold in reserve after already having a Soul Ring and Tranquils. Probably going to look to shift that into a Blink Dagger, maybe, if not a Glimmer Cape. We'll have to see what he decides to put more priority into. Fly's just going to farm up this wave due to the pressure. Very still touch and go from both of these teams as it is right now. Just want to go ahead and get the farm done. Waga completes his Daedalus. I imagine at some point, Root Gaming are going to want to put the pedal to the metal here if they want to get any strong use out of this Aegis.
It seems like they don't have a huge interest in doing so. I think they're just feeling confident going towards that late game where they're... Right now, what the Aegis is achieving them is just superior farm. They can be more aggressive. They can split up their heroes because they know Void Boys don't really want to fight into the Aegis so much. So they're just out-farming them, getting map control through the Aegis. They're not really 5-manning taking towers like the kind of traditional Aegis use, but I'd say they're still getting a lot out of it. It allows Monkeys to be more aggressive. He's just pushing deep up lanes and knows that, yeah, they can charge me, but even if they kill me once, they're not going to be able to kill me a second time, and I can just escape using my mana pool to just ball lightning TP or whatever it may be. The Shiver's Guard gives him that extra assurance as well because, yeah, they've got good lockdown and control, but now he's going to take much less damage with the attack speed slow.
It's going to make it that much more sweet for him to kind of do as he pleases. We saw that in their last series matchup as well. Monkeys plays a mean Storm Spirit. He's heading bottom now. Lots of attention still from Void Boys here all the way at the top, maybe hoping that there'll be maybe a certain Wagga or someone farming out the lane. But now they come. They're looking to add the pressure. Just pretty much both sides splitting it the same. Fly will be here in lane. They could make a jump for this. They have Winter's Curse, Laguna, and of course Monkeys nearby, but the second Fly clears out that wave. He's like, I gotta get back. No risk.
He's getting tankier. He's finished the Eye of Skadi now on Gyro, so
that's a bit different.
Dire's top tower
yeah, he wants to tank up, and it's probably the best time to go on Gyro to just tank up a bit. Maybe you could argue Satanic as well, but the slow also helps when you're fighting a hero like TA to have the Skadi slow.
I can imagine. I mean, you're a gyrocopter, you're running in with a call down. It's very easy to draw a lot of attention on yourself. So if you can soak up as much damage as possible, that means that extra 2-3 Sleight of Fist coming out from the back lines, and then Gatovs can come in and just try to clear out the rest. So that could be the possible game plan here. But as the plan is now, Void Boys smoke up. They're on the move, heading towards the big boy pit. Not going to be up, obviously. They're heading up, maybe seeing if there's going to be Ancient stacking. Nope, not there. Through the Sentry. Nope. Where are they? Root Gaming in their own woods, setting up. Looks like this could be a smoke coming up short unless they can get some sort of dramatic play.
No,
but
Storm
that's
of the Age.
happening.
The Roche Timer is also broken and reborn. Is your Roche Timer broken?
I looked and I'm like, is it really that long for Roche? I mean, I think it's expired. It's expired.
The Aegis just expired like 30 seconds ago.
As if the clock wasn't difficult enough before. Now it's just not right.
And like, did they redo how the clock? You know, it took casters like a good month to figure out how this clock works.
You don't understand. It's the face of a clock, but it's tilted this way. It's like, what the hell is this? Now it's just way wrong, so I don't know. We'll have to see. When it pops up, that's when he's back.
Yep.
Shanks, though, got an Invis rune and is just trying to go on a little covert mission. Gonna wait on the high ground here, but not gonna find any opportunities. Pretty calm here for a while now, almost 10 minutes since we've really seen any sort of bloodshed. The last time was top lane when Ember Spirit got quickly picked off, I believe. But they know that this is getting to that point of the game where you lose a big fight, you're losing tier 2s, you're possibly losing racks. Unless you're really ready to dip into that buyback piggy bank, which I'm sure no team really wants to have to do. That could end up being the beginning of the end.
And that smoke for Void Boys at least gets them some deep wards down in the mid lane around the Roshan pit, which will become a important kind of objective for both teams, and they've used their gem to deward at least their own jungle. So right now Root's vision is a lot more limited. They haven't got a gem of their own, and they're kind of trying to get what farm they can on their side of the map. Lina finishing an Ag Scepter, it would be very crucial, I'd say, for the next fight. Having that ability to burst through a Gyro BKB, for example, can definitely help them out a lot.
Void Boys are just on the move as if they think they're going to be able to get a grab on someone, but they have no smoke to do it. And without a smoke, these little traps and everything are going to just see him walk into the woods. And there's just going to be no easy opportunity to get a catch on the Root Gaming. The second they see it, they just go right up north. They hide in the trees, maybe wait for a counterplay. But if Void Boys' game plan is to try to get a catch, they're not going to be doing it that way. But they're going to try again. They're going to go for Monkeys here. Obvious charge is out. Monkeys long jump, long TP. See you later. Back to base he goes.
And the other thing with Void Boys right now, it might take some time for Ember to really get that scary damage in the late game. Going back towards an ultimate orb, which suggests maybe a Manta or probably a Linken's, I would say, against the Winter's Curse. But having Linken's and then double boots, really just chews away at your gold before you can complete the Daedalus. Yeah. So I imagine he'll probably sell the treads fairly soon, so he at least gets some cash for that. But he's already kind of spent the 1,500 gold on the treads and then spent another 2,500 on the boots of travel. So it has hurt his economy a bit, the fact he's going to lose money out when he sells the treads, and could have just gone straight for the boots of travel, or for example. But
I guess it depends how comfortable they feel that they're going to be the ones being more offensive, or if they want to get more damage and have the Sleight of Fist doing that much more with the defensive. But
I think they will ultimately need it late game, but I can understand the Linken's for now is a bigger priority, because you'll just lose the game if Ember gets taken out in a fight by Winter's Curse plus TA blinking in.
Void Boys will remove the prominent vision from Root Gaming near that Roche pit, as we see.
Respawns in 1 minute, according to the pop-up timer at least.
According to this one, it's like 6 minutes off. It is what it is. Well, as it stands right now, it means Void Boys are just going to pressure all 3 lanes, specifically the mid and the bottom, so that they have that little bit of extra space to do the Roche. If there is going to be a fight drawn here, you look at the side of Root Gaming and how they can contest a Roche. You have some of the dream team. I mean, you got Clock, you got Storm Spirit, you got a flyover Winter Wyvern with a Winter's Curse. Void Boys have to make sure they will get this Roche when they commit for it.
Yeah, there's still the Tomb, so you put the Tomb on the high ground, and killing it's not easy. TA can find it. You can scout it with a Rocket Flare, and TA blinks up, for example. If TA blinks up there to kill the Tomb, then suddenly TA is not in the fight. So you really want to be able to kill it from the low ground, which maybe if it's TA's in a position close enough, it's possible, but it's still a very high-risk play to make.
Oh, Clock forces forward. Needs to go to the left-hand side. Fly's going to pop the BKB, gets hit with the Laguna, drops the call down, and Chaos breaks out. A charge on forward from your Spirit Breakers. The Winter Curse will fly, and Fly about to go down, but Monkeys Forever could be locked. He's able to finish off Fly, jump right back into the safety zone, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Now they look to go back and take down the King, and they can do it. Huge right clicks coming out from Waga, but at the same moment, Gatovis gets a quick pick himself, finishing off the Clockwork, making it 2 for 2. Shanks joining him by his side, very weak and wounded, will need to retreat. Waga kind of still on the prowl here, but wagers that it's the best chance for them to go into the Roche pit, and they do so.
Yeah, Waga, importantly, having a BKB for that fight couldn't be kited around and controlled through the Earthshaker stuns, among other things, but BKB now on cooldown.
Oh,
this could be a dangerous Roche to go for.
Eats a Sleight of Fist, eats a Remnant, which there is a Remnant currently right under Roche's nose. Charge from Spirit Breaker, puts himself on the clip along with Winter Wyvern here. He's going to get pulled back to the low ground here, but the Roche will go down. He's going to get picked up from Monkeys Forever. Shanks tries to go in, bops him big, but it's not going to be enough. They get Waga down with the help of Gatovis right there, and now they look to try to get him out. Will he be able to live? Arctic Burn's going to be flying from Derp here. There's the second Remnant jump, and it looks like he'll be able to ball up and make it away to safety. Monkeys, unfortunately, just doesn't have enough mana to chase. A gem is going to hit the deck, as well as a bottle, which is going to get right-click down from Derp. And when it's all said and done, I don't want to hit the fight recap to see what the trade was exactly, but I wager...
Don't worry, I did it for you.
And it crashed, didn't it?
It crashed. So, I don't have the update yet. I'm getting that update going.
So Gods is not with us right now, as he wanted to check the fight recap for me, but indeed it does still crash your game. But a big grab. The Aegis does get snagged up from the side of Root, which he's still holding. They are not able to take down the Ember Spirit, but they do still get just so much on top of it. So Root Gaming, now they went from making it into a dead even game to having that 6K net worth advantage, and the XP is even more dramatic, getting near that 10K mark already. So Root Gaming have patiently waited this out. They smoked, moved forward, and they found themselves a good opportunity to take a fight.
Yeah, kind of, the game seemed like it was much more Void Boys doing better, where they were the ones who were just controlling the Roche pit area. But that's just, I think it was Root being patient. They were like, well, Roche isn't respawning anytime soon. Let's just sit back and try and get as much info as we can. Void Boys might be smoking, looking for some key pickoffs. And then once Roche was coming back out, Void Boys was like, okay. Root was like, okay, let's just go and now take the fight, take Roshan, and do what we can with this TA BKB, especially as the key item.
Monkeys was stalking a bit, hoping for a solo pick. He's still hanging around here. He doesn't want to go too deep. Doesn't want to risk getting caught out, locked down.
Very just tanky and hard to kill. He's gone pure defensive with Shivers and Lincoln. Now he goes.
He's like, I got close nearby, and Waga's there, and they're going to get the quick kill. Waga picks up that one, and they make it look easy. This is Root's chance for once. They're going to cross over the river, and they're going to be the ones pressuring these tier 2 towers. And you got to remember, this is a best of one. This is a elimination match. The loser of this will be out of the NYChampionships and a qualifier. The winner gets to move on and fight for another day. This tier 2 is going to be going down. Another big grab. Monkeys is going to pick up the money on that one, and it's time to go high ground, Gods.
Yeah. Embers here doesn't have much damage. Okay, go to Crystallis in the career. That'll help a little bit. Needs to pick it up.
They got an Echo online, too. A Blink Echo ready to go. But Root have the wherewithal. They stay split. They don't overcommit. They might just pull off now that everyone's back from the side of Void Boys here. They don't want to risk having this advantage and just giving it right back.
They still have an Aegis, though, and I feel with that in mind, they may be looking for at least a jump and a quick pick and then move from there, especially if they can catch someone like the Earthshaker, who's fairly squishy, seeing on 1200 HP and a key hero as far as his lockdown goes in a team fight. That's going to be maybe one of the #1 priorities for this Storm when he jumps in.
It's a really strong high ground defense here from Void Boys for Root to try to crack through. Waga trying to give the extra vision there with the trap. Now they're going to go back for the tier 3. If they can just get these Raxes exposed and make it a lot easier. But look at Monkeys. He's like, I'm ready to play. Jumps in, doesn't get the catch. Jumps right back. Lift is going to be popped. And they will pop the Lincolns as well. Nice thing I have to say, having a Spirit Breaker in our team, is that is a global Lincolns popper if they do want to use it in a sense. But Monkey jumps in, is like, my tower, bye, and leaves.
All right, tower done. Storm needs to regen some mana. They may stick around to push again, but I think they'll at least regen the Storm a bit first. Which they can do so with the Bounty Rune up top where Storm's headed. And Root aren't in a big rush. I still feel like late game they have the much better lineup. Lena's already kind of transitioned into a core hero. You've got TA and Storm, both very scary in the late game scenario. And pushing into an Ember is just going to be a bit of a headache as it is, so I think maybe they're just deciding, well, we've got a tier 3, we've got an objective, we can slow things down a little bit now.
It's very apparent Void Boys were anticipating a second push to follow because, you know, figured they had the Aegis, so they might just stick around and keep playing, but that's not the case, so they're stuck waiting inside their base. They will finally venture out here. So what do we look for Void Boys to do now to try to get themselves back into this game? Is it just continue to farm what little piddle bits you can get and hope for the all-star high ground defense, or do you eventually just have to get crazy, get a smoke, and get out there?
I don't think they have to get too crazy. The heroes, some of the heroes definitely do fall off quite a bit. The Undying's gone for pure aura items, I think, recognizing that, well, he's not really a fantastic late game hero, but staying alive, applying his Flesh Golem in a team fight is going to be more key for him, so for Void Boys, strategically, it's kind of wait for Root to maybe overextend a little bit, because at some point, Root are going to be looking to end the game. Maybe it's the next Roshan, and punish any slight missteps and misplays. You've got the ability to split push using the Ember Spirit, as they keep sending him top with Boots of Travel, then he Remnants back, so I think these kind of plays are the right idea for Void Boys, and it's very much defend your high ground. Don't try and defend the tier 2 tower. They let the tier 2 bottom go down, and I think they just know their high ground defense is their biggest asset right now.
Now, Gyro has completed his butterfly here, so you got a pretty tanky Gyro put together with his BKB and Scotty. Now he has the evasion. Not looking like an MKB is done yet for anyone on the side of Root. Could be something for them to consider. I mean, Waga certainly has the gold. He's got 4,500. He could look to build into an MKB if that's the case. Do you think that would be the appropriate choice, or is Gyro something that I don't have to worry about that much? You might actually have to hold that thought. They have smoked and charged in. They're trying to get a hold of Zhuan here. Can they finish off the clockwork? He's got Glimmer help coming in the form of Derp, and he's going to be able to get forced away to safety. They want to commit, and, well, he just tag teams onto Waga and jumps out from trouble. Void Boys will be coming up short on a gank in the mid lane.
Oh, boy. That was a smoke commitment, too. Would have just been a clockwork as well, so it was already like, oh, it's only a clock, but they'll take it, but they don't even get him.
That is pretty morally defeating, though.
I think you do go for the MKB if you're Waga. Maybe hadn't scouted the Gyro Butterfly yet, but I probably saw it there. As far as TA goes, you've got the defensive item in the BKB, so I feel like Waga's next move is just, pile on some more damage as well as a way to deal with the evasion.
We'll see. Now sporting a nice offshore account of 5k gold.
Yep.
Look back at Monkeys. What about for him? What is going to help them get through that tough high ground defense and allow him to just continue to do as he pleases? Is it building up more defense, or
you want a bit of offense now? Hex would be good just for picking off the Ember Spirit where possible. Ember actually didn't go for Lincolns; he went for Scotty, so he's got no way of countering the Storm Initiation with a Hex, and then you Electric Vortex him. So it'd just be a nice way of being able to punish Jatova's split push that he's been doing lately. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for something along the lines of a sheep stick. Just that kind of natural late game item progression as well, when you've already got 3 fairly defensive tanky items.
Sure. You're going against the Ember without a BKB, having that extra bit of lockdown against such a slippery hero. Can't fault that. And you already get so much from the stats alone. We'll see if that's going to be the case as he continues to build up the money for now. Derp does finish out the Blink Dagger now, so he can even wait even further in the back lines, maintain that spread out position you want to have when you're going against Void Boys right now with their Echo, call down lineup, but then still be able to get there within the distance to get off a huge Winter's Curse or maybe a life-saving Cold Embrace. So I'm always a big fan of the Blink on the Winter Wyvern. Just makes it so much easier that you can be there at a moment's notice to either initiate or counter-initiate or Just save a friend in need.
So we'll see what the next plan for Root's going to be. I imagine they're just kind of keeping their eye on Roshan and trying to wait for the respawn, go for another... The next time will be Aegis and Cheese, which means they'll have 2 big items to maybe help them go for a high ground siege. Because they kind of need all they can get to push into a Gyro Ember Spirit. 2 great AoE spread damage heroes to kind of deter any push coming out of Root's side.
Waga's still holding that lump sum of money here. You know.
And the main problem for him is he wants to be holding either Aegis or Cheese, probably. He maybe even takes the next Aegis, because when you go for a high ground push, TA's the main hero on the front lines hitting buildings. So, like mid game when you're going for ganks and you're just kind of taking team fights, Aegis is better on Storm. But when you're sieging, Aegis will be better on TA. So I guess the Aegis will take that last slot where his TP scroll is currently. So he may have to wait till after the next Roshan before he buys up his last item.
Unfortunately, with Void Boys not having any more smokes, they kind of have to creep out the old-fashioned way, little by little, drop a sentry here, drop a sentry there, remove any obs, remove any traps along the way. Root Gaming have a lineup that's just really hard to approach in any sort of surprising manner. You got Clockwork to constantly detect, a very mobile team in itself. Derp's been very dedicated with getting the vision down in very good crucial spots. And Void Boys without smokes. Oh, God, they're going to be the ones to get caught now. Big Winter's Curse jump in. Derp flexing that new blink muscle, and they're going to catch any stragglers nearby. And the first one seems to be Fly. They hit him up big. Nice Laguna catch. He's going to get some help, though, from the Glimmer. Barely holding on at this point. Gets a call down. That's not going to be very effective. They put their attention instead on Spirit Breaker. Finish him off. Finish Fly thereafter. Waga with a double kill. What a catch from Zhuan on the hook. Snake King's not going to be able to make it away, and he will have to be the one who takes a knee. And everyone from the side of Void Boys will get dropped, but unless they get a big boy hook here from Zhuan, it's up now. We want to wipe him.
You had it. Just need to walk past those creeps.
Little too
They're going to high ground this. They just bypass Roshan and say, we just killed 4 of them. And Ember bought Daedalus. He has no buyback. He is out of the picture for 40 seconds. Undying's out of the picture. Only Gyro has a buyback.
That is a Rex. That is probably 2
a Rex and some, yeah.
And then if they don't want to finish, they can always go back for the Roche, or they could just go for the finish. We'll see what's going to happen here. Right now, it's a lone Earthshaker. He does have an Echo, but that's not going to be enough.
That's promising news. If he had a smoke or something, maybe he had to get in a good position for it, but without a smoke, it's really hard to just get a Blink Echo during daytime. There's rocket flares, there's TA traps, and just day vision means they'll see you before you're in blink range. The day vision far surpasses the blink range, or it's slightly better than it. So as a result, this is just an easy Rax coming out for Root Gaming, who get both mid lane and bottom lane, at least the melee Rax, which counts.
Root
now they fall back
great,
for Roche,
man.
too.
Second half of this game, they realize they got to turn it on right now to stay alive here in the NYChampionships, and they're doing it. Score seems even from anyone coming in. Oh, 23-23, but no, you can look at the damage that's already been done. That is 3 racks all day going to be taken down on the side of Void Boys. They lose, what, 2-3 big fights back-to-back. Now you're looking at a disgusting net worth, 20K plus for Root. XP right on par with that. This is YOLO territory, gods, if you're Void Boys. It's just like, and now you see that. Roche goes down, and it's an Aegis for Waga, who also picks up an MKB. He didn't even have the MKB in that last fight, and they still kind of just ran right through Fly. This is just do something. Like, if you just wait for another high ground kind of defense, I don't think that's going to be enough.
He actually replaces the Deso with the MKB, so upgrades a little bit here. A bit more damage coming out from the MKB, and also just gives him the bypass on the evasion of Gyro. So Fly's going to have his work cut out for him to stay alive in these fights. Even with 3,000 hit points, he's going to have Satanic soon, it looks like, with this Reaver pickup. It's not gonna matter, I don't think. It's Root Gaming headed straight towards the top lane with Aegis and Cheese. I think this is it for Void Boys. It's do or die in this last defense, and I don't see a way for them to break through, even with the high ground defense of an Ember Spirit.
Yeah. This is like one of those, you wait, do they have a smoke yet? No. These guys have been puffing through smoke like they're in junior high school in the bathroom. It's just ridiculous. So they're not going to have that advantage. They're just going to have to try to pull off some sort of crazy flank play, lead in with a, Echo call down and the whole kit and caboodle, but it's high risk, maybe high reward. I don't even know. That's going to still even be just one notch to try to get this game back to even.
Yeah. Ember's going to just try and push out these side lanes, so at least for their high ground defense, all they've got to worry about is this one lane coming in at them, but that's just a a small concession, because just defending this lane alone is going to be a problem. The supports are just getting so much done. You've got Clockwork with an Ag Scepter, who's getting multiple hook shots off in the fight. Lena with an Ag's Laguna Blade. Also his BKB to stay alive. Winter Wyvern with Blink, Vlad's Glimmer Cape, and the Winter's Curse just being such a great late game spell. These heroes are all causing problems.
Here comes Root. They can taste victory here. They're doing it the right way. They got Waga dangled out in front with that Aegis. And they're just going to begin their slow siege, and it looks like Void Boys are going to be forced into that position where it's their all-or-nothing high ground assault.
Ember's got to go in. He's the one with buyback. That's kind of you. I think the only way you stand a chance is to throw an Ember at them, do as much damage as possible, buy back, and go for round 2.
Here it comes. Long jump from Monkey's. Immediate sheep on the fly before BKB, but he gets help from the Glimmer Cape. Now they're going to get the pullback on the Shanks. Monkey's just doing all the muscle power in the back lines, and before you can see what the hell actually happened, the tier 3's gone.
Yeah.
That's Waga just being the demolition man at this point. Monkey's jumps in. It's like, hey, look at me, look at me. Waga's like, your tower's gone. Next time we go in, 1 Rax. Then we're going to wait, come back, and you're going to be, suddenly megas.
Nope. And he finds a regen, so he'll get all that mana right back.
Oh, how lovely.
You can just do the same thing, too. You can just go bowling past the racks on the Storm, and TA will just focus down the racks if you want. They still have a range racks bottom, so this isn't mega creeps if they get top, but it's one step closer.
Fissure, call down. They know that they're just doing what they can, as Waga's not even going to take an ounce of damage. And this is just for the Aegis, which still has, as you see, 2 minutes to work with. So this is just that painful point. You're sitting on the side of Void Boys, and you're just like, ugh. What are we going to do? We got to just hope there's some sort of silver lining.
There's a tomb drop, but that's like free money for Waga if he wants it, or you can just ignore it.
Oh, quick blink back. Almost got it in the 2 shot. Soul Rip will keep it alive a little bit. Does that thing look like 2 rockets? I don't know. That might be another glitch visual bug. But anyways, Waga continues to do his thing. Maybe Void Boy is just trying to slow them down as the Aegis will expire. That could be the trigger point for them to make a jump in, but they'll have to wait another minute. Here comes Monkeys! Jumps in, pops out the Shivas, gets the quick sheep again on the fly, who does get another Glimmer Cape for the save, and now they run. Snaking very low, waltzes towards the fountain here. They look to turn back onto Waga. Waga still has the Aegis. They get the Fissure off. He turns back, trying to man mode on the fly here. It's a lot of damage. That's going to be the Aegis going down, but they also lose 1 Rax. They might look to disperse. Quick blink away. Yep, Waga's getting up. Oh, again, the Echo. He tries to get the Echo on the Aegis life, but he had that blink and makes it out. They look for Derp instead, but he gets off a quick Cold Embrace, turns around, gets the Curse. He's going to get bopped from the Spirit Breaker. Will go down. Juwan's going to jump in, looking to make a go on that Spirit Breaker in the back, but a Ghost and a Force will get him out to safety. Spirit Breaker trying to man up onto Waga, but that's not the smart choice. Waga turns onto him. Can't quite finish him off, but Monkeys will. Now it's Monkeys and Waga who are going to finish things out, and that will be game. Root Gaming will win this best of 1 and stay alive in the Nanyang NA qualifier, while Void Boys, unfortunately, their run is over. We will not know how Patsoul could do in Nanyang, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was just good play. Root really patient, waited their times, and it worked out well for them. There was just a few missed opportunities. I mean, the Earthshaker missed the Blink Echo at the top lane on the Storm, which would have been a killer to key timing. I mean, that missed Echo Slam in the last fight wasn't necessarily too big a deal, but it's Root Gaming's survival after a rough kind of opening day, and I'd say this game here wasn't spectacular from them, but it was still like a solid performance.
It was definitely better than what we saw last time, but then again, they're going against Void Boys, so you have to kind of take that for what it is, and you got to remember, this isn't the true Void Boys roster. They've had to work with some stand-in. It's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but it is what it is. So again, props to Void Boys. They had their run. Maybe we'll see them again in the future in a possible BTS Americas or something, but for now, they're done here. Root Gaming will stay alive, making their way through the best of 1s. And, well, we're not done yet today, though I might need to double check. I have heard some weird murmurs out there. But according to the schedule, coming up next is going to be Digital Chaos as they face off against Sector V, also known as the former Not Today squad. So what we're going to do is we'll cut to a small break, and when we return, we'll keep you updated as far as if it's going to be Digital Chaos for Sector V or something else. So with that said, we're signing out for Beyond the Summit. I'm Coddle Guy. That's Gods. We'll see you very soon.